everyone, you're welcome to my channel and you're on to Omashone. And most importantly, I welcome you to the first lesson on the poem Funeral Blues by W.H. Auden. In this lesson, we'll explore the poem's background, its central themes of grief and isolation, and of course despair, and the historical context in which the poem was written. Alright, by the end of this lesson, you will have a clear understanding of W.H. Auden's life, the historical context of Funeral Blues, and the poem's key themes of grief and isolation. We will also examine its origin and how it fits within the event of the 1930s. And here are the key terms for this lesson to keep in mind. This word will help us to better understand the context and meaning of funeral blues. The word includes grief, isolation, despair, satire, modernism, and the Great Depression. So, I'd like you to keep this in mind as we continue to explore the poem in future lessons. Let's have a view of W.H. Auden. So, his full name is Winston Hogg Auden and was born in 1907 in York, England. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest poets of the 20th century, known for his technical brilliance and range. Auden's work spans topics such as politics, war, love, and human suffering. He moved to the United States of America in the year 1939 and became a U.S. citizen in the year 1946. His work continues to resonate with readers worldwide, addressing timeless issues of human experience. Now, Funeral Blues was first written in the late 1930s as part of a satirical play titled The Ascent of F9, which Auden co-authored with Christopher E. Sherwood. Later, Auden revised the poem and it was published independently in 1938. Over time, the poem gained significant attention, particularly through its use in modern media, like the film Four Weddings and a Funeral. Its core theme conveys intense grief and the sense of isolation that accompanies deep personal loss. And here are the key themes in Funeral Blues. The poem explores three major themes, like I've already mentioned from the beginning of this lesson, and they include the themes of grief, isolation, and despair. So the poem speaker basically is shown to be overwhelmed by the loss of someone deeply important and expresses the profound sadness that comes with it. The world seems to be indifferent in all of this, carrying on as usual, which deepens the speaker's feeling of isolation. Auden powerfully illustrates the speaker's despair in this poem. So, the poem was written in the time of great instability. At the time this poem was written, as you can tell already, in 1938, the world was already grappling with the Great Depression, oppressive regime rising in Europe, and so this is the situation in which this poem was written. So, but originally the poem Funeral Blues appeared in the play The Ascent of F6, like I've mentioned, and it was a satirical critique of the British imperialism. But over time, the poem was separated from this context and transformed into a universal reflection on grief and loss. Usually, all these political views often inform his work, but in this poem, personal emotion took a center stage. Alright, let's get to read this poem before we call it a day. Now, as we read the poem, I would like you to take note of powerful imagery Auden uses to express the speaker's grief and the way he calls for the world to stop and reflect on this immense loss. Stop all the clocks. Cut off the telephone. Prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone. Silence the piano and with muffled drum, bring out the coffin. Let the mourners come. Let aeroplanes circle moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message he is dead. Put creep boughs round the white net of the public doves. Let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east and west, my working week and my Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out everyone. Back up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood. For nothing now can ever come to any good. So, before we end today's lesson, I would like you to take a moment to reflect on this question. How does funeral blues resonate with feelings of loss you've experienced, either personally or through literature? This reflection will help you deepen your connection to the poem as we move forward with its analysis. If the time spent with me in this lesson was worth it, why don't you give me a thumbs up, click on the share button, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notification button so you get to know when I post new content like this. Till I come your way again, you were Onto or Mashone. Do have a good time. See you in the next video.